Yeah, I don't have all the numbers at my fingertips, but the thing about the Crosby statistics is that many of them are not only unmatched, but they will never be matched. Unlike baseball statistics, everybody thought for decades that no one was ever going to, beat Babe Ruth, and then that happened, and now lots of people have beaten Babe Ruth, and nobody ever thought that anyone would, hit more home runs than Hank Aaron, and now that record is broken. But nobody is ever going to have, I think it's something like 396 charted hits that Crosby had. It's just never going to happen. We have not seen a career that lasted that long with that kind of success. And the whole nature of the industry is different, where you don't have anybody today, and never will again, I assume, putting out singles on an almost monthly basis, so that if you examine the charts, especially in the 30s and 40s, Bing has a new record coming out every few weeks, and most of them get up there, certainly in the top 100. More than half get into the top 40, and a lot of them rise beyond that. So the number, I think he had something like 38 number one hits. A lot of these figures are clearly unparalleled in the 20th century, but I don't see that how they can ever be equaled again. Certainly, the fact that he sang and introduced more songs that were nominated for Academy Awards than anyone else, I mean, how is that figure ever going to be equaled? And the fact that so many major entertainment corporations were built in part on Crosby's talent, which is something to me that's totally phenomenal, because Crosby didn't participate financially in the successes of those business, but Paley CBS got a tremendous shot in the arm when it was being marauded by NBC because of Crosby's success on the air. And then when he went to NBC, the Kraft Music Hall was in serious trouble, and he turned that into the number one variety show on the air and gave NBC an important jolt. And then ABC, Bing virtually invented ABC. It hardly existed. It was originally part of the NBC network, and because of antitrust laws, they had to get rid of one of their networks, and none of the major stars wanted to go on ABC. It was considered an also-ran station for second-raters. But Bing wanted to pre-record his show. No one had ever done that before. NBC wouldn't allow it. He went to ABC, and before the season was over, every major star followed him to ABC. And the same thing happened on television when ABC got a tremendous boost from his participation in the 60s with the Hollywood Palace. So, and then Decca Records, the most important recording company to come along in the 1930s, one of the big three in the 40s and 50s and 60s, along with RCA and Columbia, totally founded on Cap's relationship with Crosby. And there are other examples where he comes along. Ampex, the company that manufactured the first tape recorders, partly based on financing and sponsorship of Bing. So he's just one of these people around whom the modern industry of show business is created. He didn't talk about it. He didn't give interviews about it. To the best of my knowledge, and I think I've read certainly most of the interviews he gave, nobody even bothered to ask him about it, but the facts are there. And it's just an unbelievable achievement. Almost in terms of the way Bing regarded it, it seems almost tangential to the fact that he's making all those movies and making all those records and doing all those radio shows. But those corporations, none of which are American anymore, they're now all been bought by German and Japanese and English companies. But nevertheless, they dominated the entertainment world in the 20th century and couldn't have gotten to where they did without him.